but I do favor their two players. I feel like they have a really good chance. I mean, look at this guy. It's sOs. He's our most winning player here, tied with Hero at 20 wins, has less losses at 9, and he is 12-4 versus Protoss. This guy is a PvP master. One of the best here, if not the best in Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is $$, for his IEM win, where he won against Hero in, you guessed it, a best-of-7 PvP. This guy's PvP is out of control good, so pretty good matchup for him to land here on Frost up against this guy. Both these guys are actually, by the way, a master of this map. There's like 3 masters of this map. It's Zest, sOs, and Rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all 3 of these guys are so good on this map. So this actually could be incredible what we're about to see here. Zest not as well known or well accomplished in Protoss versus Protoss, more known for his PvZ. But you know, he could take a win here. The momentum is definitely in KT Rolster's favor, but I've never seen sOs without a smile on his face.
So true. Let's see. All 7 vote for sOs. I think this is actually not a surprise. Even giving the caliber of Zest, you still got to give it to sOs here.
Yep, and we did see Zest play recently at IEM, and he kind of really underperformed. This might be showing like exactly where he's at in his game. Maybe he's kind of in a slump or not playing as good as he used to. So
it's really hard to get out of.
Makes sense.
It's really hard to get out of that mentality of like being a one-hit wonder, because everyone always says that about you behind your back, and it's true though.
Yeah,
for real. Every single time, that's what everyone says, especially in Korea. Korean fans are always saying, "Yo, I don't know if he'll ever win another tournament." You know, that might have been his Royal Road moment, but like, what's going to happen after that? Maybe grinding on him a little bit here. Let's go into this Protoss vs. Protoss series, which could be the last series of the night.
And down in the bottom right, in the blue for JINAIR Green Wings, it's sOs, $$,
These odds up against the Kingslayer, as they call him, Zest for KT Rolster. Getting a haircut recently. Looks good. Always actually one of our most handsome pro gamers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The most chiseled pro gamer we have.
Chiseled, I like that word.
Yeah, chiseled toss is what I would like to call him.
By the way, that sign actually said Honey Gem.
Honey Gem, I saw that.
It said Honey Gem.
Instead of Good Gem, it was Honey Gem.
No, it's actually becoming a thing, Honey Gem.
It's because you said it that one time, Wolf.
Honey Gem.
Yeah. It was all me. I started everything.
So. It's going to be very interesting on this map. I mean, this map is so big. We can see a lot of proxies go down. We can see a lot of hidden tech go down on this map.
Cross positions.
Maybe even a hidden expansion. You know, you never know.
Yeah, sometimes we see that.
Yeah, we can see anything on this map.
Or maybe even hidden DTs.
Oh, sOs.
SOS.
We know he loves them.
Yeah. Definitely not hidden power, a move from Pokemon.
No, no.
Hopefully not, because that would not be
I
nearly
don't
as
think that's what we're going to see. But I mean, you know, pretty much anything else hidden could happen.
It could happen. But, you know, so far, identical builds. No probes on the map or anything like that.
So let's just wait and see. I mean, we're cross spawns here, which means that on this base, or rather on this map in particular, the rest distance is quite large. And in Protoss is a Protoss, if you don't get something done early with Blink, it's going to be one of those games where you have to choose a composition. You're going to choose Colossi-oriented build, you're going to choose a Mortal Archon-oriented, or both players are going to go down the Colossus path, and we just kind of play this balancing act on you to make sure you don't make too many Colossi or too many Immortals, and your Zealot count. And it's like, basically at PvP, if no one kills each other early, it becomes this game of like, you're basically just playing a game of trying to build the exact right composition. It's almost like building a structure or something. You've got to like build the base, and then you kind of go up to the top, and then everything kind of eventually falls into place.
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, it becomes down to like positioning, and it's all about like the death ball and where the death ball fights. It seems like when it gets to like the mid to late game, it's just about where your army is, who's going to pressure who. Like obviously, when you see like a faster third for one player, it kind of pressures the other player to either make an attack move or expand on their own, and then it's like all about like when these players are going to fight and where they're going to fight, and and what the composition is, and if the Archons are stuck at the back or not. You know, there's so many silly
a lot of
things.
times, like not even in just PvP, but in a lot of mirror matchups, it's always like that because you have so many similar units, you know, and it's all about that positioning. That the Roach Concaves, even if you're thinking about ZVZ, the Terran, the Micro, the tank positioning, stuff like this, and then PvP is the same. Here, are your Colossi all firing? Are your Archons at the back? Are the Zealots stuck?
Or what
who
are the
gets the
Colossi
flank?
firing at? Are they firing at the right units, or is one Colossus shooting one Stargates over on the left side, or is he targeting where the Zealots are all clumped up? That's really important as well. So,
But we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves.
Right.
I mean, we're a long way off
let's
Colossus
take a
just
step
yet.
back.
Still just making the next.
Slow down, guys. We have an expansion for Zest so far, but none for SOS just yet. A little bit later for him.
Looks like a mothership core is floating across the map for Zest as well on the left side. He's not going to be happy with what he sees. That base is empty.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit sad here. He might go to the right, though. Get a big scout of the main, which will help a lot. And he can recall if he needs.
And you say he can wink. He can wink.
He can wink as well.
He can wink if he wants.
He can wink call. And Stargate goes down for SOS, so we might see some Oracle play here, which can go very well. I mean, we do see potential Blink Stalkers from Zest going into this. Or DT if he desires, but Blink it is.
Blink. So, yeah, I mean, he's got the faster Nexus. This Stargate timing is, like, pretty late. Not sure how much damage that's actually going to do or if that's really going to accomplish anything here.
Yeah, well, at the very least, he'll be defensive against his Stargate. So when it finally gets done, he can blink on top of the Oracle, which is going to be coming out.
Yeah, also keep in mind that with cross positions on this map, Oracles are, like, the least effective because it just takes so long.
Yeah, it does take a while to get there for sure, and by that time, there's going to be plenty of Stalkers out. Blink will almost be finished, I believe. Oh, and a great scout. He's going to scout everything. Does not see a Chrono on the Citadel. Oh, sorry, the Twilight Council.
Yeah. Citadel of Adun.
It still brings me back to Brood War.
Well, this Twilight Council is based on the Citadel of Adun.
It's exactly the same, just in a different name.
It has a different shape as well.
Yeah,
but like,
that's true too.
maybe in Legacy of the Void, Citadel of Adun comes out to unlock some new units.
Oh.
Or some old
Maybe
units.
that's why I keep saying it, maybe I'm trying to drop some spoilers here.
Maybe actually you have to get the Citadel of Adun to unlock Arbiters.
Oh, maybe.
Or unlock the Arbiter Tribunal like in StarCraft 1 and then you get Arbiters.
Mothership in perfect position.
Oh, what? He's like, get
Perfect.
out. I knew you were coming.
How dare you? He sends him packing, gets one probe.
Oh, what is this? A Void Ray.
Void Ray.
Oh, this game just got 4 times more exciting to me, because not just because I love Void Rays, but like because this is different and unique. And we've seen Rain actually go hidden Void Rays on a map like this, on this very map, in fact, excuse me, in this matchup, and use it to take a third. Because when you scout Void Rays in a high number, and you're like, you can definitely make a composition deal with it, but if he has a third base while you're making that comp, he's just getting more money.
Yeah.
And
no, for sure. But we only see one out so far. So maybe just one to help out with defense.
yeah, against Blink Stalkers, but Zest is like not even moving across the map. Like he's actually just sitting pretty at home.
Yeah, very defensive Blink Stalker. And he shows Blink, which I guess was pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah.
It's so funny how that Oracle is still able to get 2 kills, even though it came out this late. It's actually very well done by SOS, able to get even just 2 kills at this point in the game.
I mean, it's definitely not what he wants, but I mean, yeah, sure. Like
He can use that to kind of scout a lot in the mid game, which if he can keep it alive for that point, it'd be very, very useful. But he'll have to make it there.
all right, so Temple Archives comes up and a Warp Prism. We have actually been seeing Storm Drops become a lot more common in this matchup. Second Void. Oh, he even hallucinates someone. He wants him to think this is actually like real Void.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Does he cancel that second Void?
It's kind of
He's going to keep it.
I get, maybe it's just kind of like feigning like how defensive he is. Like, yeah, I got extra voids. Like, you can't attack me or something. Showing like a bigger army than what he has.
Really interesting that he doesn't cancel that one, though.
Yeah.
That's like weird. That's like too meta for me. I'm like, he's like, all right, I'm going to fake a Void Ray, and then when you come here, you're going to see one Void Ray in
He's going
production.
to know I'm faking Void Rays, and then I'm not going to cancel it and actually go Void Rays.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about this, but it's going to be a Storm Drop, by the way.
Oh, gets scattered straight up.
Is he going to see that, though? That's really far away from his base.
Well, here's the other thing to note. Like, Storm Drops or the defense against the Storm Drop is a pull. It's not actually to kill the High Templar or to kill the Warp Prism, because the Storms are going to get off no matter what, almost in every case. Unless there's like Banelings there, you're pretty much going to be able to cast your Storms. So
yeah,
let's see how quickly he pulls. Because if he just thinks it's Zealots, he's like, oh, whatever, I'll leave a cannon there. But no, no, no. Cannons do not defend Storm Drops. That's why this matchup, Storm Drops are becoming a thing. Because you're going to get your Templar Archives anyways. And if you can spend 200 extra gas to kill a worker line,
gets cut off.
But he does see that he sees and is able to react and save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now the Void Ray is moving into position, and that drop is going to have a really hard time getting any damage done.
Oh, wow. Oh, he completely shut it down.
He almost got a full link there. All right, he's even making a Phoenix. He's like ready to hunt that down.
Yeah.
He's actually like so concerned about this Warp Prism. He's like all about the Warp Prism.
Well, considering how expensive it is, I mean, that's 2 High Templar in there. That's a lot of damage, potentially, and it's a lot of gas invested in it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think he actually knows what sort of drop this is, too, because, like, if this were just an empty Warp Prism, he would never care this much about this. But he's actually, I think, knowing that this is a Storm drop.
Phoenix so close to scouting it.
Weird position there to hide it just right there.
Yeah.
All right, he's actually going in again, but I don't think this is going to work. No, he's not.
He
yes,
can't.
he is.
SOS is too aware. I spoke too soon. Is he going to actually find a hole? No, he doesn't. The Phoenix.
The Phoenix can't kill it fast enough. He needs to just be ready to pull his probes. He needs to be ready. Is he ready?
Oh, is he going to feedback? No, he does.
Yeah,
he feedbacks one of them. Wow, I love it. I love it. I was actually going to suggest that earlier. I was like, you know, he could feedback them. That might to shut them down.
Yeah, that's actually so funny because feedback is a weird spell that you don't see used all too often in competitive play, but it actually does work in PvP most of the time.
Well, yeah, you don't usually see it in Templar versus Templar, like feedback wars or anything.
Well, it's so funny because you can use it against Phoenixes too. It's not always the most effective way to deal with Phoenix harass, but it can work.
It can work.
This is interesting at a Zest. He's taking the third base. He's already gotten it up, but he's got a big attack on the way out of SOS. SOS knows that Zest had to, you know, put a lot of minerals and gas into that drop, and now he probably thinks he has the advantage. Yeah. He's going to go for this attack. He's got 4 Archons at the front.
I think he definitely does have the advantage. Storm against this composition is not going to be very strong on those Archons. He needs to hit Zealots. And so far, actually, the Storms are on the Zealots.
Really good Storm so far.
All right, Time Warp is so important here. But, again, a Storm goes down. And you know what? I can't believe Zest is holding this with Psy Storm.
It's so good for zoning. You cannot just run your entire army through a Storm. Not that many.
Oh, he should not be attacking down here, though.
Yep. Getting a bit overzealous.
You don't want to take that concave. Not with this many Archons. Your Zealots will just disappear.
+2 finishes now for SOS. Like, right now. Whole upgrade ahead.
And he's in great position to deal with his third base if he wants to.
Okay, now it's done. Sorry. They're both at +2 now. Excuse me. Well, I read that wrong. Okay.
Nice positioning out of SOS here, trying to get behind that mineral line.
So risky with these little holes on the ground for both these players taking engagement. Baits the charge! That was a great bait there. That was so nicely done by Zest. But is this enough for him to hold with those Storms going down? I don't know. I think that may be too many Archons, guys.
The Archon's doing way too much damage to all those Zealots, but he is holding for now.
Immortals have a lot of range, and they're doing their damage with that force field as well. He didn't break it. Is this actually about to happen? That Void Ray is a problem, too. Okay, targets it down. This is actually insanely close. This is so close.
They both survive with about the same army.
That one warping of Zealots. This is what Artosis is always talking about in this matchup. If you make your gateways first, you always have that one extra round. Ooh, that was actually so scary there for a moment.
Yeah.
This is actually just going to go into a longer game. +3 started.
Oh.
What?
Goes through a scout. Fair enough.
There was like only one stalker there. He certainly could have gotten a lot more kills than that, but I think he's scared.
Yeah, I think he panicked.
Well, I mean, let's look at the worker counts. They're pretty even. A slight advantage goes to SOS. And he's also getting the +3 much faster, which is something that, you know, really came into play last game, that +2 finishing for him. Had he fought under with one upgrade down, he definitely wouldn't have won that fight.
And he's transitioning into Colossus, which can make a big difference if he gets to that stage. Some great harassment again.
I'm giving at the edge here to SOS just simply because of these small little advantages he has in the game right now.
He seems to really know how to kind of get ahead even after a fight like that. You know, he's clawing his way back in again. He's picking off still with that Oracle. He's scouting everything, and he's making that transition into Colossi a lot faster. than
Yeah.
Zest is.
That +3 man is going to finish so early here for SOS. Zest hasn't even started it.
Yeah, he seems to have a lack of gas. I think it's because he had to make so many of those Archons earlier to catch up in the Archon count.
Now, SOS doesn't know this, but if he goes for the attack with +3, going to be really, really advantageous for him.
Yep, definitely. But at the same time, he can just kind of wait for this Colossi ball to build. If he once he has like 4 or 5 and goes through an attack, he's going to have such an advantage with Colossi alone. Then I definitely think he'd take a great fight.
Well, let's see. Zealot's coming over here, going to pick off of that pylon to the top right that he saw a long time ago. That didn't really actually come into play in this game at all. He has to send 2, because if he sends only 1, then a Warpin will actually save it. In fact, I think he may even be trying to save that to the top right. We're not getting a shot of it, but yeah, I think he's actually going to...
It's like there's a bit of a skirmish going on up there.
Yeah, they're actually fighting over that over there.
A little bit of a...
I wonder if he's going to like try to hide a base over there. No, it doesn't look like it.
I think it's just good to have control there and not to lose your pylon. And sure, just another thing on the map you got to worry about.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, if you win the fight, you win the fight. You trade those Zealots appropriately, you're going to want to make Zealots anyways. So.
I mean, if there's ever a base race, you got a pylon up there as well.
Yeah, Moon's thinking of everything.
I'm thinking of everything, man. Don't worry.
Okay, double Colossus Robos coming out here, but
I don't
again,
know,
everything
like,
a bit slower for Zest.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Literally everything. The +3, the double Robo, the Colossi, everything.
Yeah, SOS is looking... He's
fourth
showing
base.
experience in the late game. He's doing really, really well at this point. He's taken a lead in just about every aspect here, except maybe getting a 4th a little bit later.
Yeah, we've been losing these Stalkers, well, only 1. So, let's not forget, let's never rule this out. In PvP, the game is usually decided by 1 engagement. It almost already was this game. That was a very atypical engagement. So, if there is to be an engagement that SOS makes a mistake with for any reason and ends up losing it, that may cost him the game. So PvP is one of those games where it's so hard to tell exactly who's going to win a fight because you don't know where the timers are. So many spells are cast. In this case, he's got 1 Scientific Guardian Shield. He's got to hit that, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to make sure his Time Warp is good. He's got to make sure his Mothership Core doesn't get sniped. He's got to get his Archons at the front. He's got to make sure his Colossi are targeting.
Yeah. At this point, it's like all positional. With Colossi, you have to be in position. You have to have the right units in front, and these Colossi have to be hitting the right units.
Zest's army is out of position right now. There's an attack going on. He's going to lose a bunch of these pylons. May supply block him.
Let's see if he commits. The Nexus works against Zest here in the defense.
Oh.
Did not expect that.
Okay.
That's risky, actually.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, a feedback would have been would have spelled the end for that.
Yeah. But I actually think he didn't really have to do that. Like, maybe he did it because there was Zealots coming in his base. But
yeah.
Like, I mean, at that moment, he had the much better engagement point. Zest would have actually might even have to give up that 3rd base if he wanted to push the issue.
Yeah, it's a very, very hard place. But I mean, at the same time, there was pylons all around it, so Warpins would have really favored Zest for defense. And ooh,
look at this.
This is Tempest. I mean, this transition's been on the way for a little while here from SOS, and with Tempest, man, he's got like everything he would ever want, especially with a Mothership coming up too.
Oh yeah.
When the game goes this long in PvP, you might as well start researching Observer speed and Warp Prism speed, because like this is a game where you basically come to infinity money, because both players are going to be max and not going to make anything else, and there's not going to be a whole lot of harassment because you can afford to lose any of your army. And Warp Prism Harassment is the only way with Zealots, basically, that you'll ever want to do that.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot of Zealots.
He's like really wants to kill that pylon, but all the Zealots are really out of position.
He's like, there must be a base up here.
That pylon is so dead.
Yeah, that's
actually, I think he thinks there's a base up there. He's having the same like idea that I was having earlier.
He's like, there must be a reason why it's defending it so much. Like, I got to kill this pylon.
Seeing all those Zealots out of position does not trigger an attack, though, from SOS. Although he is moving out now.
He definitely could have cleaned that out and cleaned that up. He still can intercept them, and he might. No, he's gonna play it safe. I think he's worried about like Zealots running into his 4th base.
This game is actually, we haven't had a PvP like this in a while. Ooh, he might actually lose some Archons here.
It's going the distance, that's for sure.
Like, normally PvP is aside in the mid-game nowadays, so that's kind of where the current meta is, but in this one it's...
Yeah, but when it's like cross-map like this, at this point, it's insane. And when you see Tempest...
He sees the Tempest. I don't think he saw the Mothership. He's about to.
Yeah.
Is this really an engagement that Zest actually wants to take right now?
I don't think he should be. I think he should be very careful at this point. He's got to be so careful.
He has a Dark Shrine. How many observers are on the map? None.
He's
he has
making
no
one
observers.
right now. We just saw that production tab. He's making the first one.
But that's not SOS's. And so if Zest actually, I mean, the only detection he has is that.
I think he might be going for
Oracle.
a recall here. Getting him out of position and going for a recall.
Oh my God! Where's the motion core?
He better.
Okay.
Wow, that was huge damage already. 2 Colossi?
Yeah. All right, where's a Warp Prism? Does he even have one? He needs to like start doing something. He needs to start doing it soon. Like these Zealot harasses on gateways are not the answer. Like I mean, yeah, he's got to kill those to, or rather kill off his own Zealots to make more DTs and whatnot. But
yeah.
Okay, here's a Warp Prism, or it was the Warp Prism.
There was the Warp Prism.
Oh, it's alive.
Tempest just don't do enough damage to these things.
Okay.
Purely made for the Colossi.
He actually still doesn't have any observers. You think? Okay, if he actually sees that there's no observer with this, he might actually just warp in a ton of DTs. He killed the Oracle, and his observer sees that there's no observer. So he can actually take an engagement with DTs. He can take an engagement with DTs. Let's see if he does it. If he warps in, say, I'm talking a lot of DTs. He warps in like 9 or so.
He's getting rid of some supply right now.
Yeah,
that's what he wants to do. What is he
I
gonna
actually
bring
think he's
in?
going to warp DTs if this engagement can
5 DTs?
Oh, this is so smart. He knows it. This is taking a small amount of knowledge and using it against your opponent. Here we go. He's got 6 DTs on the map, and he's going up to 10. He knows there's no detection. Here we go. This is a great engagement here if he can get those DTs in. And
the DTs come in.
Here they come. And look at SOS. He's shaking his hands here. I think he thinks it's over, but his army is starting to disappear. I don't think he knows it until just now. He's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait just happening? A minute. What are happening to all my Colossi?
Oh, my God.
They're all going down. They have no support. They're all falling one by one. SOS like, oh, what?
Wow. Oh, now they're all Archons. Uh-oh, this game just turned around real fast. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm always watching that like a hawk when there's a Dark Shrine coming up. This is how games change. He will snipe this mothership, and he will snipe the Tempest. This is now a terrible position for SOS. And guess what? Who had the bank the whole game sitting and turtling? That's Zest. And right now, SOS has almost no bank in gas because he spent all of his gas on this expensive tech, almost arguably too many Colossi, and these Tempests on the mothership.
So much damage done, and definitely reset the army again. It's insane how close this game has been. Both fights kind of completely exchanging armies. Though, definitely Zest coming out ahead, getting rid of all those Colossi with the DT, making Archons. I mean, there's still kind of, we still got Tempest on the map, which can deal with the Colossi.
I want to see the production. I want to see how Zest wants to figure this one out. Is he going to make pure Archon?
Is it going to be just Zealot Archon?
He's got a lot of High Templar now, yeah.
I think he just wants to fight with Storm. He just made a bunch of High Templar, and all of these can be made into Archons. So he's actually going to have, how many Templars? 5? Okay, so he'll have 2 more Archons than this.
He's
no,
going to
6.
He's going to have to attack soon before the Colossi count rebuilds, because that's going to deal with this very easily.
This is his time to attack, and he's going for it. He's going straight for that 4th base.
This could be the engagement that decides this entire first playoff match. Okay, here we go. He's a bit timid here, in fact.
Tempest on the high ground. Gotta respect.
I think that's 4 Colossi out now for SOS. So he's in a very good position to deal with this.
Yeah, I don't know if he should really fight next to these cannons and be able to charge us like that. All right, Storm's going down. Okay, does back up. This is actually crazy.
I kind of think, I kind of feel like Zest needs Tempest of his own.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. That's what he needs here.
He really needs to put down like 2 Stargate, start making Tempests.
And he's not doing it. He's just backing off. He's not confident enough to do it. He's saying to himself, I need Colossi.
Colossi is one way to deal with your opponent's Colossi, but
when there's Tempest on the map, you know, and you don't have any, you're always going to be fighting like this terrible fight where your Colossi getting one shot.
He's also got no Colossi, whereas SOS has 6, now 7.
And he's not going to be able to pull that DT gimmick off again. That's not going to work.
Yeah, he's got 3 observers.
This actually just, in my personal opinion, shows the difference in these 2 players' confidence in late game PvP. SOS lost his entire army to DTs and still made all the right choices and went back. And the reason why he survived was simply because I feel like Zest wasn't comfortable and not confident enough to counterattack there. He was a bit too scared. And, you know, that's like this moment where Zest just couldn't capitalize on what just happened, and I think it shows that SOS clearly has a better understanding of late game PvP. Let's see what happens here. Upgrade wise, 3-2-1 here on this army, and I think that Zest's army is similar. He has more armor, but I don't think he has shields. So the shields are actually much more important in this case because of the importance of Archons and also the flying units as well.
Absolutely. Just completely scouts every sort of every Colossi there. He knows exactly the army composition, but still confident enough to deal with his DT on his 5th base. At the same time, I think SOS's 5th base also getting harassed.
Yeah, by I think a Zealot. Oh no, it's DT.
Well, it was one Zealot.
Yeah, it was one Zealot.
It's going to go down.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, a Mothership being remade, that forces obviously detection, and it's actually very difficult to engage against an army that's in a concave that you can't see.
Yeah.
That's really important to know.
Still no Tempest. I don't know if I agree with no Tempest or any sort of real way to deal with the Colossi of SOS. He's always going to have that favor.
I think he wants to overwhelm with Zealots, but an 8 Zealot difference is really just not that big of a difference.
No.
Especially when you're fighting on your opponent's turf with a really big amount of buildings in the way. It's not really going to do it. This is a gigantic amount of Zealots. There are a lot of cannons and 2 DTs, but still.
If he targeted the pylon, this would be a different story, but... All right, let's see. He's actually going to try to take this, and he will. He's going to get that base. Actually fully uncontested. Wow. Nicely done, Zest.
Yeah, very nicely done. And his 5th base is up and running, completely saturated.
Zest makes a lot of good decisions, good map movements, good rotations. I feel like this, and this isn't the first time we've seen. Oh wow!
Oh, this is huge.
Well, no, that cannon's not the right choice.
That's not gonna go down.
I feel like sometimes Zest gets a bit stuck in his reasoning. I think back to a famous Frost vs. Frost game where he played against Sora on Maze, where Sora was making all the right units, was going air, and Zest just like kept making Zealots and it wasn't doing anything for him. Right. I almost feel like we're seeing something like this here, where he's kind of like stuck in this idea of like, Tempest, nah, that's too expensive. Like, I'm just gonna do the standard. I'm gonna keep that out. I'm gonna just ignore his Colossi. These DTs are starting to actually work wonders right now.
Yeah, they're doing way too much damage. Ooh, we're gonna see a good scout on the new 5th base of SOS. Very, very important. If he can deny this.
It's the one thing Zest is doing right. He's keeping himself at 5-4 right now. He's got his own 5th base up.
He has so much more gas, you know?
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. And SOS is never brave enough to actually attack this base.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because look at the Zealot count, 19-4. If he takes an engagement like this, he might get overwhelmed with Zealots with all his Tempest in the air.
If it's good enough concave, for sure.
Oh my God!
Right
this
now.
could be the one. This could be it right now.
Both players so scared.
All right, this could be it. All right, this is crazy.
Oh,
I'm actually getting chills.
He's
going to go for a counterattack instead. I don't know about this. There's a lot of cannons and walls in the way here. Is this going to be an elimination race with DTs? Oh, it is. Does he recall?
I think he has to.
I don't think he can.
He's not doing it.
He can't even recall. He can't even recall. Recalling here, I think, would be the wrong choice. Oh, yeah, Zest, he can recall.
I think he could. He's not going to, though. He's going to let that 3rd go down as well.
Okay, this is about to get crazy. Let's keep tracks on exactly how many observers are on the map and where they are. There are 3 observers each, 5 DTs to 2. Gas bank actually currently in SOS's favor, and that is going to be about what we have for the rest of the game as both these two. Oh, he's going to come back here.
There's the recall.
Oh, I actually don't know who really gets the 100% the better trade of this. I would say Zest, actually.
Yeah, I think Zest is ahead from that. He can't lose his Mothership. That'd be horrible, but... Yeah, I mean, he saved all his probes. At the very least, he's got a base down the bottom now.
Yeah, he just needs another base. Both these players need another base.
But he's really out of position right now. He's got to kind of get back to his side of the map to deal with this army. He doesn't want to be fighting at a disadvantage at this point in the game. He does have the bank, but it's a mineral bank, so it's going to be Zealots. And Zealots aren't going to be that effective against this many Archon Colossi. It's all going to come down to one big fight, and it's going to be based on where it's going to happen more than anything else.
Yeah. All right, so... Ooh, this is tense.
That's enough. That's more than enough Tempest to one-shot a Colossus at a time. So
yeah, probes are with this army of Zest. And I would want to say these players should probably consider, okay, see, I like this move. That Nexus was not going to be scouted for a long time. I think it's time to maybe send some probes to a safe house, basically, because if you send them somewhere like where it's safe, you can have that probe count later. If all your probes get caught in some sort of weird elimination rate, because I think this game may come down to that. It's very clear to me that both of these two players are not interested in taking engagement that could not be 100% favored for them. And if that is not going to be the case, they're not going to fight. And if they don't fight and they keep avoiding each other, I think eventually this is going to happen. It's almost just like the Chekhov's gun rule. Like, with all these unit compositions the way they are right now, like, something like this has to happen.
I think so. That or a big fight. And look at this. They're going to meet in the middle. Oh, SOS turns around, though.
All right, well, actually, maybe just have a straight engagement here. No spanning on these units. Where's the fan? Oh, no, this is a terrible engagement for SOS. The Zealots are already on top of his Colossi. And his Tempests are not being targeted properly. Now they are. Now they are. Does he have enough? Storm's going down and a few more Zealots.
Oh, and the Time Warp's really, really good on a lot of those Archons as well. Going to take him down with a lot of those Stalkers in the back. But SOS's Colossi all survive as long as there's two Tempests in the back as well.
This was a rash decision, and everything you've been saying for this entire game, Wade, about how unit compositionally, this is going to be the better way to go. It's all true. Picks off some observers. The only thing that he could like maybe want to do right now is Zest is like pump out a bunch of Immortals really fast. But even that, I mean, I did 7 Colossi is 7 Colossi.
Yeah, honestly, like when he saw the Tempest, he should have just remaxed on Archon Immortal. There was no way to go Colossi against that unless you have your own Tempest. You're simply going to get out DPS. Your Colossi are going to die. Oh, this could be a...
No way, no way,
Not
no
a
way,
chance.
no way. Not even a... No, absolutely
He's going to try anyway. He's going to say GG.
SOS puts his fists up. This is the engagement he thought he had earlier until the DTs killed him. This time he's got detection. GG.
GG.
Wow.
SOS does it in a 40-minute game.
What a tense game. Both players so afraid to attack to the end, but SOS always one step ahead, always making the right decisions in unit choice and tech.
Wow, that was crazy. That was actually so fun. That was actually the most fun PvP I've cast in like a really long time.
Yeah.
That was actually really, really fun.
And it went for 40 minutes, and it was still really, really fun.
Yeah,
that was tense that whole time.
That
man.
was
I
so
like,
good.
Curled up into a ball. I'm like, are they not going to attack?
Everything was on the line there, and now it's going to come down to a ZVZ. Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, man.
Rogue versus Action. Going to be a very close match, I think. Man, the pressure on them. Who will break?
Who will break, man?
Who will crack under the pressure? Hopefully neither, and we see a great game.
Yeah. This is actually so crazy. Well, keep in mind that even with this win, KT is still 1 win away from victory. And they have that extra life, right? So this isn't like, this is the final preset game, but this is not like the final game that decides everything. We still have possibly an ace match, which would be crazy. We had that last week, so
that would be amazing. I could see it happening too.
Moonlight said it before the first game even started.
It could
go
the
the whole
distance.
way, go the distance.
Yeah, I mean, even though I said that, my predictions definitely did not add up. There were so many upsets early on, with like with stats winning specifically. It was just insane. So very, very exciting series.
This is just actually, I'm like, oh. Okay, so one of this DBZ, by the way. Let's talk about the players. Action and Rogue. Action is clearly the underdog here. I mean, is there any question? Like,
no question about that, for sure.
None of us will question you here.
I will not.
In this casting
I will not ask the question. The Team Salmon stays united.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think anyone will vote for Action out of any of the casters.
Well, we have had some ambitious votes